Before we embark on this gripping tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Your support helps us bring you the best content possible, and we appreciate every bit of it. Simonstown, a picturesque coastal town in South Africa, is known for its stunning beaches, rich maritime history, and charming Victorian architecture. However, beneath its serene surface lies a dark and sinister legend, the tale of the Sea Witch of Simonstown. According to local folklore, a malevolent sea witch haunts the waters, luring sailors to their doom with her dark powers and eerie chants. The legend speaks of a powerful witch who was banished to the sea centuries ago, condemned to wander the waters for eternity. Her presence is said to bring misfortune to those who dare to venture too close to her domain. The townspeople live in fear of the sea witch's wrath, and many avoid the waters altogether. Our story begins with Dr. Isabel Reed, a renowned marine biologist with a passion for exploring the unknown. Isabel had heard whispers of the sea witch legend and was intrigued by the possibility of uncovering the truth behind the tale. Determined to investigate, she traveled to Simonstown with her research assistant, Tom, and set up a temporary research station near the harbor. As they arrived in Simonstown, Isabel and Tom were struck by the town's beauty and charm. The streets were lined with quaint shops and cafes, and the ocean glistened under the midday sun. They checked into a cozy bed and breakfast and wasted no time in beginning their investigation. One evening, as Isabel and Tom were taking a walk along the shoreline, they noticed a group of fishermen huddled together, speaking in hushed tones. Curious, they approached the group and asked about the legend of the sea witch. The fishermen exchanged uneasy glances before one of them, an old man named Captain Jonas, began to speak. "You're not from around here, are you?" Captain Jonas asked, his voice gravelly and filled with caution. Isabel shook her head. "No, we're here to investigate the legend of the sea witch." "Can you tell us more about it?" Captain Jonas sighed. "The sea witch is not just a legend. She's real, and she's dangerous. Many sailors have lost their lives because of her. If you value your safety, you'll stay away from the water at night." Intrigued but undeterred, Isabel and Tom decided to continue their investigation. That night, as they were setting up their equipment near the shore, they heard a haunting chant carried on the breeze. The sound was eerie and chilling, sending shivers down their spines. They followed the sound, their curiosity piqued. As they ventured further along the shore, they saw a dark figure standing on a rocky outcrop, silhouetted against the moonlit water. The figure was that of a woman, her long hair flowing in the wind. She was chanting in a language they couldn't understand, her voice filled with a dark and malevolent power. Isabel and Tom's hearts pounded with fear and excitement. They had found the sea witch. But as they took a step closer, the woman turned to look at them, and they felt a chill run down their spines. The sea witch's eyes were cold and piercing, filled with a mixture of anger and sorrow. Before they could react, she vanished into the darkness, leaving them standing on the shore, shaken and bewildered. Determined to uncover the truth behind their encounter, Isabel and Tom returned to the fishing village and began to ask more questions. They spoke with locals, delved into old newspapers and journals, and scoured the internet for any mention of the mysterious sea witch. One name kept cropping up in their research: Captain Edward Blake, a sailor who had lived in Simonstown many years before. According to the stories, Captain Blake had encountered the sea witch during one of his voyages and had become obsessed with her. Some claimed he had fallen in love with the creature, while others whispered that he had angered her and brought a curse upon himself and his crew. Intrigued, Isabel and Tom sought out the descendants of Captain Blake, hoping to learn more about his encounter with the sea witch. They eventually found an elderly woman named Martha Blake, who was more than willing to share her family's story. "My great-grandfather was a sailor, just like his father before him," Martha explained. "He spent his life at sea, and he loved it more than anything. But one night, something happened that changed him forever. He returned from a voyage, claiming to have seen the Sea Witch. He said she was the most beautiful and terrifying creature he had ever laid eyes on, but there was something about her that filled him with dread. Isabel and Tom listened intently as Martha recounted the tale. After that night, my great-grandfather was never the same. He became obsessed with finding the Sea Witch again, spending all his time and money on expeditions. He believed that she held the key to some great secret, but no one ever believed him. Eventually, he disappeared, and no one knows what became of him. With the knowledge they had gained from their research, Isabel and Tom set out to find the hidden lair where the Sea Witch was said to reside. They followed the clues in Captain Blake's journals, navigating the rocky shoreline and searching for any signs of the mysterious lair. After hours of searching, they finally discovered a secluded cave, hidden from view by a curtain of ivy and overhanging cliffs. The entrance was narrow and dark, but Isabel and Tom could feel an eerie energy emanating from within. They steeled themselves and entered the cave, their flashlights cutting through the inky darkness. The air inside the cave was thick with an otherworldly presence, and the walls were covered in strange symbols that glowed faintly in the dim light. As they ventured deeper into the cave, the temperature dropped, and a sense of foreboding washed over them. In the heart of the cave, they were confronted by the Sea Witch once more. Her eyes were filled with anger and sorrow, and her voice was like a haunting chant carried on the wind. "Why do you seek me again?" the Sea Witch asked, her voice filled with despair. Isabel took a deep breath, her excitement tempered by a sense of reverence. "We want to understand," she replied. "We've heard so many stories about you, and we want to know the truth. Who are you, and why do you haunt these waters?" The Sea Witch's expression softened, and she sighed. "I am both a legend and a curse. Long ago, I was a healer in this town, loved by many. But a powerful sorcerer, driven by jealousy and greed, cursed me and bound me to the sea. My chants are a cry for help, but they also draw those who would do me harm. I am both a guardian and a prisoner." Determined to help the Sea Witch, Isabel and Tom continued to meet with her, learning more about her past and the curse that bound her. The Sea Witch revealed that the sorcerer who had cursed her still lingered in the waters, guarding the key to her freedom. "Is there any way to break the curse?" Tom asked, his heart aching for the Sea Witch's plight. The Sea Witch nodded. "There is a way, but it is dangerous. The sorcerer's spirit is powerful and will stop at nothing to keep me bound. To break the curse, you must confront him and retrieve the key. But be warned, he is cunning and malevolent." Isabel and Tom knew that the task ahead was daunting, but they couldn't bear the thought of leaving the Sea Witch to suffer for eternity. They vowed to do whatever it took to break the curse and set her free. With the Sea Witch's guidance, Isabel and Tom set out to find the sorcerer's spirit. They armed themselves with knowledge and courage, knowing that the battle ahead would be unlike anything they had ever faced. As they ventured deeper into the cave, the atmosphere grew colder and more oppressive. The walls seemed to close in on them, and the air was thick with an ancient malevolence. Finally, they reached the heart of the cave, where they were confronted by a dark and menacing figure, the spirit of the sorcerer who had cursed the Sea Witch. The sorcerer's eyes glowed with a malevolent light, and his form was shrouded in darkness, making it difficult for Isabel and Tom to discern his features. "Who dares to enter my domain?" the sorcerer growled, his voice echoing through the cavern. With every ounce of courage they could muster, Isabel and Tom stepped forward. "We are here to free the Sea Witch from your curse," Isabel declared, her voice steady despite the fear that gripped her. The sorcerer let out a chilling laugh. "You are foolish to think you can defeat me," he sneered. "I am eternal, and you are but mere mortals." Emily's heart pounded in her chest, but she stood her ground, her voice unwavering as she continued to recite the incantations. The sorcerer's expression darkened, and he raised his hands, sending a wave of dark energy toward her. The air crackled with energy, and the ground beneath them shook violently. Emily summoned all her courage and channeled it into the incantations. The symbols on the cave walls glowed brighter, and the sorcerer let out a deafening roar. But Emily remained resolute, determined to break the curse and set the sea witch free. As the battle reached its climax, the sea witch appeared beside Emily, her eyes filled with determination. Together, they recited the final incantation, their voices merging into one powerful chant. The sorcerer's form began to waver and flicker, and he let out a final, ear-piercing scream. With a blinding flash of light, the sorcerer was banished, and the cave was plunged into silence. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the symbols on the walls faded. Emily and the sea witch stood in the cavern, their hearts pounding with relief and triumph. The sea witch turned to Emily, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "You have given me my freedom." Emily smiled, her heart swelling with pride and relief. "It wasn't easy, but we knew we had to help you," she replied. As the first rays of dawn began to break over the horizon, the sea witch turned to face the open sea. "I can finally return to my home," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "I will never forget you, Emily." With a final smile, the sea witch dove beneath the waves and disappeared into the depths of the ocean. Emily watched her go, feeling a profound sense of fulfillment. Years passed, and Emily continued her work as a marine biologist, dedicating her career to exploring the mysteries of the ocean and uncovering the truth behind legends and myths. She traveled to remote corners of the world, documenting strange occurrences and sharing her findings with the world. But no matter where she went, the memory of the Sea Witch of Simon's Town remained with her, a constant reminder of the power of courage, determination, and hope. Emily's legacy lived on through her research, inspiring future generations of scientists and storytellers to pursue their passions and shine a light on the unknown. Her story became a beloved legend, passed down through the years and captivating the hearts of all who heard it. In her later years, Emily returned to Simon's Town, where it all began. As she stood on the shores of the bay, watching the waves crash against the rocks, she felt a deep sense of peace. The legend of the sea witch would live on, a testament to the enduring human spirit and the power of love and redemption. And so, the story of the sinister Sea Witch of Simon's Town continued to captivate and inspire, reminding all who heard it that even the most elusive legends can hold a kernel of truth. If you were captivated by the thrilling and heartwarming tale of the sinister Sea Witch of Simon's Town and want more engaging stories and content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue to bring you stories that ignite your imagination and keep you on the edge of your seat. Thank you for being part of our storytelling community.